Evaluate its indefinite integral. We will use the power rule if n is not negative 1. Remember that the antiderivative of x to the n dx is x to the n plus 1 over n plus 1, but only if n is not negative 1. What happens if n is negative 1? The antiderivative of x to the negative 1 or the antiderivative of 1 over x, because x to the negative 1 is 1 over x, it is ln of the absolute value of x. We can use the power rule x to the n as long as n is not negative 1. But again, if n is negative 1, then the antiderivative of 1 over x is ln of the absolute value of x. First, we will rewrite these in terms of power. For the first part, the indefinite integral of 1 over x, we know what the antiderivative of 1 over x is, so we keep it, plus 2 times x to the negative 2. Minus 1 times x to the negative 3 dx. The antiderivative of 1 over x is ln of the absolute value of x, plus 2 is a constant multiple. X to the negative 2 is the power, so the antiderivative of x, we add 1 to the power. Negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1 and divided by the new power, minus x to the negative 3 is a power, so we add 1 to the power. Negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2, and divided by the new power. Don't forget a plus c. Simplifying this, we have ln, the absolute value of x, minus 2 x to the negative 1, plus 1/2 x to the negative 2, plus c. If you want to write the answer in terms of positive power, then we write it as ln of the absolute value of x minus 2 over x plus 1 over 2x squared plus c. And we want to write it in terms of positive power because the problem is given to us in terms of positive power in the denominator. For the second part, the variable of integration is no longer x, but it is t. Regardless, we will proceed the same way. First, we rewrite this. This is the integral of 3.2 plus t to the negative 0.9 plus 1 over 3 t to the 1.2 dt. Now that we rewrite it, we can use the power rule. The antiderivative of 3.2 with respect to t is 3.2t plus t to the negative 0.9 is the power. The antiderivative of t to the negative 0.9 is t. We add 1 to negative 0.9. 1 plus negative 0.9 is positive 0.1. And we divide by the new power right away. Plus 1/3. T to the 1.2 is the power. We add 1 to 1.2 to get 2.2 and divide by the new power. Don't forget a plus c. Simplifying this, we have 3.2t plus 0.1 in the denominator. And so this is 10t to the 0.1 because 1 divided by 0.1 is 10. Plus t to the 2.2 power, and in the denominator, 3 times 2.2 is 6.6 plus c.